Hi, everyone. I'm Amy,
And I'm Audrea,
and this is the Right Crowd. So grab a cup of coffee,
or a cup of tea.
maybe a little something on the rocks. We don't judge. And let's get started.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today, Audrea?
Today we are talking about and reviewing Your Path Forward. Oh, there's my sticky note. Your Path Forward by Sarra Cannon. It is a planning model that Sarah released just this year. This was a new one for her.
Yep.
And so you went through and took the class. Did you take it in beta or did you take it after it went live?
I took it after it went live. I wanted to take it when it was a beta, and it wasn't the right time for it. And I knew it was going to take, I knew I was going to want to have the time to do it. So I waited and I took it when it was officially released for the first time.
I see. All right, so let's talk about for people who are authors or writers who are not familiar with Sarra Cannon. She does, yeah, I mean, who could that be? How could you even exist?
Just in case.
So Sarra Cannon is an author and of fiction books she writes. I believe it's fantasy and it's like paranormal romance. But
Or it's YA. Yeah, it's
YA.
YA fantasy paranormal stuff.
Yep. And she also does nonfiction and lots of help tools, templates, and things like that for authors and writers. And she also has a prolific YouTube channel, and she teaches classes on some concepts and templates she's come up with, like planning your author career and success and things like that. And so she just released this Your Path Forward this year, and it's a little bit different from the ones she's done before. And you, Amy, have done them all. So let's talk about, what did you think about Your Path Forward?
So I want to preface this with Audrey's going to ask me questions and I'm going to talk about it. And we haven't discussed the questions. So hopefully I know the answers.
I hope so too.
So I'm just prefacing with grace. Okay. I need grace today. That's all I'm saying. Okay. What was the question?
What did the question was, what did you think of Your Path Forward?
I absolutely loved it. So what she did with Your Path Forward is she's a gamer girl. Okay. When she has free time and downtime, her and her husband game, like PC game. They met on a game.
Oh, I did not.
Okay. So this is like her thing. So she gamified your goals, your short term, your long term goals. She's gamified it to the point of, oh my goodness, I don't have it in front of me. Can you pull out the thing on the packet that you printed out that shows the game board?
Okay.
Okay, so she literally has it gamified for a board game. Like you move your thing around the path. And everyone's going to do it differently
Yes.
because, okay,
That? No, that's not
you know, it's okay. I'm gonna keep talking. Keep talking.
We'll just pause the video right here and
I'm
get
gonna roll away for a second.
things so set up. This will be edited out
I forgot I didn't have that in front of me.
because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Because maybe I didn't print that because I thought it's not in this packet, is it? I've got the matrix, the priorities. Oh, yeah. Okay, that part is what you meant.
Yay! Okay, yes. Okay, I'm gonna have you show yours because mine is full of all my stuff.
Well, we should show yours too, but I'll show mine first because this is a completely blank copy. Okay, we're starting over.
Okay.
So she gamified.
So she gamifies making your short-term and long-term goals digestible and enjoyable. So if you like that kind of thing, that's what this is. Okay. So Audrey, can you show everybody the blank one? So that's what it looks like on her thing. And honestly, everyone's probably going to do this differently because everyone's brain works differently. Okay. She also, for this class, suggests you pick one goal to work on it first, and we're going to habit stack it, right?
Mhm.
Well, for me, I work better, even though when I used to train people, I would train them, pick one thing, right? What's the one thing I can do such that everything else is easier or unnecessary? You pick one thing, right? Well, I have 3 categories that I'm working on. Okay, so mine, I printed out 3 of the game boards and I wrote down what the goals would be for that item. And then I wrote down my pieces that I'm going to move across my board. I also printed out the quarterly planner from her. I don't think this was in this packet. I think this was probably from her HB90 class, but she has a quarterly planner that she sets up for her HB90 class. I printed one of those out for each of my goals so that I could write out what the goals were, when I planned on having them done, and then here I moved them across the game board. So that's how I gamified it for myself. But the whole class is about gamifying your goals, picking one. She helps you get down to one. She really does help you get down to one. And she reminds you, we're picking one. And I'm like, I'm not listening. So I can do that. I'm at the age that I can make my own rules.
Okay.
So
Yes, you are.
that's what the class is.
That's very cool. So I'm being selfish because I did purchase the class. I did not complete it. So I started it, I got it printed out, and then, oh, look, a squirrel. And I did not go through the class. So I'm being selfish and I'm learning from you because I'm going to go in and do that for starting 2025. So would you say is the difference for people who've done both or are looking at Sarra Cannon's classes between the Your Path Forward and 90 Day?
Okay, so she actually has 3 classes.
Yes.
One of them doesn't have anything to do with the other 2, and that is Publish and Thrive. That is for authors who want to be indie authors, and it could also be for authors who aren't sure yet, or you've decided to go the traditional route, because she's got stuff at the beginning of the class that will help no matter what you decide to do. And then if you are someone that wants to be an indie author and do your own thing, the back end of the class is all about the actual publishing part of it, which I've taken the front part and I stopped at the part where publishing. I'm going to indie publish, but I am not ready. And I know that right now, there's no point in me looking at all that stuff because I'm not ready. So that's the difference between that one and the other 2. Now, HB90, her channel is called Heart Breathings. And that's where she gets the HB from. 90 because it is a quarterly plan, and a quarter is 90 days, roughly. For those of you that are going to be like, no, it's not, because we get it. So 3 months is roughly 90 days. Okay. So HB90 is your quarterly goals for whatever. And she helps you in that class figure out what your goals, multiple S, what your goals are for the quarter, breaks them down, helps you figure out the time blocks, because the way she has recently done it, when she first did the class, it wasn't done in time blocks. But I want to say a year and a half ago-ish, trying to remember how many classes back, she introduced time blocks. And she said, how's everybody feel about this? And everyone loved them. So now they're part of the class and everything is done in time blocks. And each time block can be 20 or 30 minutes. It can be whatever time what works for you. It could be an hour, like whatever works for you. And you break down your day into these time blocks. And how many time blocks do you have to work on every day? And this is project A. It's going to take 15 time blocks because I've deemed my time blocks to be 30 minutes and it's going to take me 7.5 hours. So how many, like working your time blocks into your thing. She also talks about your Kanban board in HB90, where you take your steps and you do them in to do, doing, and done. It's like a visual of seeing all the things that you're doing. And then she helps you, what I call goal setting to the one. So here's your big goal. Here's the steps. Here's the steps to get to those steps. Here's the steps. And then you get down to that one thing. right? She helps you do all of that in the HB90 class. Okay. This class, Your Path Forward, is about your vision.
Mhm.
Like, where do you see yourself going in a year, in 3 years, in 5 years? It's helping you craft your vision and getting you there. So this class, she actually starts, the very first class session is crafting your vision. Like, she helps you and she breaks it down. It's not just, okay, what do you want in life? Okay, moving on. She has multiple questions. You can't see because of the glare of my window. She has multiple questions that she asks you. She gives you different categories. She's got 4 different categories that she talks about: relationship, environment, career, finance. Oh, wait, there's 6: career, finance, health, and spirituality. Like, what are your visions for all of that? Do you have one? Do you want one? You don't want one? Fine. Don't worry about that part, right? But she helps you go and break it down. Now, you'll notice that mine is blank
Mhm.
because I'm a notebook girl. So I have all my stuff in a notebook.
Which is
And
really
that
cool.
way I don't have to use that whole, I don't have to use that space. I can use less space, I can use more space, but I won't feel like either I didn't do enough or I'm saying too much, which is why I like to do it in a notebook, because I can write what I want and the space is the space. So that's the difference between the 3 classes.
Cool. Well, I will say that I, like you, I like to put my stuff, if I really like the class or I'm going to refer to it again in the future, I put my stuff in, answer the questions in a notebook as well. But I will often use the paper to draft. So I can get messy and cross things out and start over and use Post-its. And then once I've got the answer crafted the way I think it should be, then I will put the question in the book, the notebook, and then write the answer. And that's what I will refer to. So it's my way of drafting to get to the answer. So thank you for explaining the difference between the HB90 and the other Publish and Thrive, but really it's the 2 planning models we're
Yeah.
looking. And that was HB90, and this new one is Your Path Forward. I like gamifying things. As if you guys have watched our channel before, we talked about one of the planners for people who have ADD, which is the Wilkie planner, which I've used before. And I've tried to use gamification in other planners, and we'll be doing another planner video soon. But anyway, so I was attracted to Your Path Forward because she was gamifying it. So as you went through the crafting your vision and getting to the next step, what, and we're not going to take anything away from, like we do when we review books, from Sarra Cannon. If you like what we're talking about, you should go and enroll in her class. We're not going to do all the questions and answers here on this video. It's just like an overview or a review for people who are curious from people who've done it, like Amy. All right, so as you stepped through it, what else did you like about this new way of looking at planning and setting a vision or goals?
So I am a planner. I am a future thinker. I am always thinking about what needs to be done and how do I break it down to do it. What I liked about this is that, and this is going to be personal for me, is that it was someone else asking me the questions. It wasn't me coming up with my own questions. And it made me stop and really think, because she would, like, one of the things she asked is, what about this goal makes you excited? It's not normally something I'd ask myself, right? So it made me actually think about, and there were things that I thought were going to be goals and I thought were going to be, but as I worked through the process of the way she has it set up, I got to the end and thought, oh, wait a minute, what about that one thing? Like, how did I not even think about that? Maybe it's not as important as I thought it was going to be. The other thing I like about it is that this game board.
Yeah.
Like, I like that it may not seem like a big deal that I did this one thing, but the fact that I can take my little sticky and I can move it to the next block, it makes it look like I'm progressing.
Yes.
No matter how small the progression is, I'm progressing. So I like that. And I like that she doesn't say it has to be any specific thing. it can be whatever you want it to be. Like your goals are your goals, and no one's going to tell you that they're stupid or that they don't apply to you or there's no way you could do that. Like she helps you figure out what's important to you. And then what you do with it is, up to you.
That is one of the things that I do like about all of her offerings is that she says, this is how I do it. This is what I came up with. And it works for other people, but you do it the way that works for you. Like her videos on YouTube, she has the ones up on the Kanban board and time blocking. And I've watched those and I kind of styled my Kanban board similar to the way she mapped hers out. And Kanban it's not a new concept. That's a project management concept that's been around for a while. We're just applying it to the world of being an author and all of the tasks and products and project stuff you have to do with being a published author or writer. All right, so after you've crafted your vision and defined your goals in here, what were some of the next steps that you had to do?
So she also has you do, so when I was training realtors, I had the urgent, important, urgent, not important, not urgent, not urgent, not important, right? You have the blocks. Well, she breaks it down to excited, necessary, and let's see, let me think. I wrote it down. I want to make sure I got it right. She has it as excited, essential, and discard.
Oh.
Whereas when I trained, it was urgent, important, unimportant, and delegate. So I like the fact that she breaks it down to some things you're going to be excited about and some things you're not, but just because you're not excited about it doesn't mean it doesn't need to get done.
Right.
I also like that it's not delegate, let someone else do it. It's if you're not excited about it and it's not essential, why are you worried about it? Like, flick it off, go away. It's a bug. It doesn't need to be on your plan, right? Now, technically speaking, there may be a couple of things that you could delegate, but if it's not essential and it doesn't do anything for you, why are you gonna why? So that was the next part of it is she breaks it down and she gives you like whole sheets of the one thing, right? Now, this is the part where I mapped mine. I didn't do it that way, only because that's just the way that my brain works. So I did this, but I did it in my own way. And it did help me figure out what I was going to do. And I did it like a list with check boxes and I numbered them. And she actually has you number them in here to figure out how you want to do it. But I did it more of here are my goals and here's why they're my goal and why is it important to me. So I did it more as a list than the way she did hers. The other thing I like about it is that she gives you, at the end of each one, she gives you a mind map section. So you can just, I was going to go blah all over the page, but that's not the word I was really looking for. But yeah, so you can just go blah all over the page, get it all out of your head, figure it out.
So brain dump. She gives you a place to
she gives you brain dump space. Yeah. Yeah.
And the ones that you described before we move too further on, if for you guys that are familiar with the important, essential, not essential, the way Amy described it, that is called, many of you have used it before, it's called an Eisenhower matrix. And it looks kind of like this. This is Sarra Cannon's. So if you've seen an Eisenhower matrix, she's just, again, applied it to, I like that excited and essential or
yes,
not important. That's a good way to look at things.
My favorite one was discard.
Yeah, discard would probably
Go
be
away.
my favorite one as well. And I'm excited now to go through mine and start doing it. I like the way you explained. And of course, when you buy the course from Sarra Cannon, you get her explanation. She's got videos of going through it and a step-by-step, which is great too. So, all right. So now you've mapped your path forward. You've done that. You've done your brain dump. And so when did you take the course, or when did you do it the first time?
So I took the course in June, and I only know that because when I printed out the pages, it's printed on the bottom.
Oh,
So that's how I know when I took it. And I actually made sure to start it on one of my days off so I could sit down and get it done. And
wow.
I literally did it in a day and a half where I just sat and did I just sat and did it. The other part of it is that she has you plan out your year. So she gives you a yearly planner so that you're able to figure out when these things need to get done. But I did mine in June. And another part that she does is one of the questions she asks is, what do I need to do, learn, create, or cultivate in order to reach my goals? What changes, what things do I need to work on? How do I need to grow in order? And then she has you, I don't know how she did it in hers, but then I color coded it to fit into that matrix. Essential, not essential, excited, go away, bye-bye, shoo-shoo. So, which I had no shoo-shoos because, like I said, I'm a planner and I think 5 steps ahead of what I'm doing. So I didn't have anything on my list that wasn't already supposed to be there, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
that's not how my brain works. My brain immediately will be like, no, it's not necessary. And I move on. So
already refined your items down quite a
yeah,
bit. This is not your
yeah.
first rodeo.
No, especially since I used to train people to do this. So yeah. And that kind of is the class. Like, it gamifies your goals. Now, what I did is I took some of the things from the HB90.
Mm-hmm.
Like in her HB90, she has these task lists that I pulled out and I worked them so that I made this, like, I wrote up here Q4 2024 and my 3 categories. I wrote my 3 categories up here, and then I put my list of the things that I needed for those 3 categories. And then I took that and broke that down into my pieces. That's how I got my pieces here. But yeah, I incorporated some of her stuff from HB90.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I was going to say that's a good point, because it's not the way both of these courses are built. It's not one or the other. It could be if you so desired, but
Yeah.
the way she has built them and talked about them on her site is, she says, pairing your path forward with HB90 Bootcamp, which is the other one, allows you to get an amazing eagle-eye view of your goals with also being hyper-focused on the immediate future. So you can take the vision piece, your path forward, and do that, and then apply it when you do HB90. And because HB90 is 90 days or that quarterly thing, you can do that 4 times a year to get your quarterly goals in and apply your vision across the whole year, 30 days or 90 days at a time.
And she does this in the HB90. It's a quarterly review page,
Mm-hmm.
which I literally will be working on later today, because we're about to enter the last quarter.
Yeah.
But mine will be a quarterly review / yearly review, because whenever I do Q4, I also start working on Q1, because it's the end of the year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do
Yeah.
I still want to get done that's not going to happen now? I need to move that to Q1. So it's more of my brain. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, so thank you for explaining it to us and your personal experience with doing your path forward the first time around this June. If you all are interested in this class from Sarra Cannon or any other ones, we'll put them in the show notes. And I think you have an affiliate code, so we'll drop that in there. So if you guys want to use Amy's affiliate code, you can do that, or you can just go out and get Sarra Cannon stuff. She also has planner pages that she is created or commissioned someone to create. Also stickers. So she's a big sticker person. She has a Pinterest board. You can see her things and you can And she's big into planners and journals and notebooks, so she has stacks of them that she reviews or she goes through on a monthly basis on YouTube. So
She has nothing. We have nothing on her. Like, yeah.
so all of that is, we both highly recommend. Amy has done more of the actual going through and doing classes. I watch all the YouTube videos, and I've also purchased the classes, and I did HB90, and I have Publish and Thrive in the wings for my book, which is going to be coming out soon-ish. The next thing, we'll be talking about planners pretty soon, but I think for your path forward and our review, we're like both 2 thumbs up, even though yours are experienced 2 thumbs up, and mine is I'm excited about doing it 2 thumbs up. And oh, one other thing, if you've taken any of her courses, you can always reattend as a auditing student or keep going through it, because she does do updates, as Amy mentioned before. So
Yeah,
that's
you have lifetime access. She literally, I think we just missed HB90 starting. I think she just did her last round, and she is revamping it.
ooh,
I think this is the last one for that one. And when she does it again, it'll be the new stuff, I think. And Publish and Thrive and HB90 only open during certain times of the year. So we'll put the link on there and keep up with it. But if the class isn't open, it's not open. I don't know about your path forward because I took it in the first round, and I don't know if that's something you can just go on and get, or if you have to wait until she opens the class, because she doesn't. I don't think there's a live for that class like there are for the other two. However, if there is a live, it's going to have specific times that it's open. So it may not be open right now. So you may have to keep going back and looking.
and if you are a subscriber to our newsletter, we'll be letting you know when her stuff opens as well. So you can do that. You can like and subscribe on this channel. And that's all we've got for you for your path forward. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.